All right, ladies and gentlemen, greetings again. We're live. As you can see from the title, let's talk about a bit of misinformation that's been circulating about Amir Khan and the Terrence Crawford Amir Khan fight compared to the they even comparing the fight to Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, and I got a lot to say about that. So let's get to it. First of all, shout out to each and every one of you that's here. Of course, the two major fights that happened over the weekend: Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados, and of course, Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan. Now, Terrence Crawford is argued to be pound for pound the number one best fighter in the world right now. Okay, and I've listened to other people. I don't believe that. I don't believe he's the number one best fighter in the world at all. I believe he's highly skilled. I believe his abilities are great, but the level of competition, in my opinion, that he has faced still hasn't shown me that he is the top tier fighter in the world. What do I mean by that? Now, there were certain fighters that he faced. Victor Postol was a good boxer. We had Felix. Felix was a good boxer as well. Of course, he faced Gamboa and Ricky Burns. I think of the whole set of fighters I just mentioned there, the best in them was Gamboa. But Terrence Crawford has various skills that he has in his arsenal, no doubt about that. But I will say this, in terms of level of competition faced, I think Danny Garcia's faced better competition all around in his entire career than Terrence Crawford has ever faced. Okay? I would say Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and Errol Spence, as well as, of course, the legendary Manny Pacquiao, have faced much better competition than Terrence Crawford has faced at welterweight. That's a fact. In terms of level of competition Terrence Crawford has faced throughout his career, Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, okay, and Sean Porter have faced better competition all around than Terrence Crawford has ever faced in his entire career. So for me to look at that and say that Terrence Crawford is pound for pound the best or number one fighter in the world is to be disingenuous to the other guys there. Now, a lot of people are talking about, everyone wants to see Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, as if Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Manny Pacquiao are secondary guys to Terrence Crawford and to Errol Spence. And I think that's disingenuous. I think it's unfair. I think Leonard Ellerbe was the guy that gave the most balanced and sincere and comprehensive answer I've heard, which is that we're going to find out who the number one welterweight in this world is soon, but these guys got to fight each other. And he's absolutely correct. You can't dub Errol Spence the best welterweight in the world just because he has had some great performances. Hold one second. Shout out to Jackson the Hopeful. I just saw you pop up. Jackson the Hopeful says, I was quite impressed with Terrence Crawford. I know Khan was going to get knocked the fuck out, but I never seen Khan just getting his ass whooped over a long stretch like that in a fight. Well, then you probably never saw the Chris Algieri fight then. Chris Algieri beat Khan's ass from round one all the way to the end. You must have forgot. Chris Algieri beat up Amir Khan. Amir Khan got the decision, but Chris Algieri beat Amir Khan up bad. So you do your homework. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. So when you look at Terrence Crawford, I think that he's overrated at this point in time. Those people who think I'm a hater, so be it. But I think he's overrated at this point in time. I think other fighters have proven themselves to be better fighters than he is at this present point in time. Notice I said proven themselves. I'm not saying that they are better fighters, proven themselves. Now, Terrence Crawford may be better than them, skill-wise, ability-wise, ring-wise, intelligence-wise, but he has not shown that yet. So I can't dub him as, the best pound-for-pound fighter ever, like Bob Arum is doing, like Timothy Bradley's doing, like Buddy McGurk is doing, and a number of other people in the business. I would never do that. I want to see the guy with the package of evidence behind him. I told people Floyd Mayweather is the best ever because he had a body of work behind him. All right? And I could show why he was the best ever, and I could even point out what he does in that ring that makes him the best ever. But when it comes to Terrence Crawford, I can't really do that yet. Okay? He's fought good fighters like Lomachenko, but he has not fought uh, shall I say, fighters with a history of being elite. Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia, who's a 4 divisional world champion, has a history of being elite and great. Okay, not because he didn't lose a fight, but because he's facing top tier competition repeatedly and beating them and superseding expectations as well. He would go up in weight and beat guys who were considered better or stars in the boxing business. He would beat these guys, and that would be impressive because he's supposed to be the smaller guy. So Mikey Garcia has a track record of that. Now, this is the first fighter that Terence Crawford has faced. First fighter. It's the first fighter actually that Terence Crawford has faced who is a multiple weight class champion. No, actually, no. Single weight class champion, because he was always a super lightweight, but has a history of beating some really good fighters and great fighters at that. He beat Marco Antonio Barrera. He beat Zab Judah, right? Amir Khan beat these guys. The thing about it is that Amir Khan has been found out. I did a video on Amir Khan. You guys can go look back in history that showed that Amir Khan literally is a character that reaches. He reaches with his punches when he's coming in. And I told you guys that Katie, what's her name? Katie, whatever her name is, does the same thing. She throws a whole bunch of combinations and she's coming in. Manny Pacquiao does the same thing. He throws a whole set of shots and he's coming in off the shots, reaching in. And so it opens you up to get countered, okay? And he's always open. Amir Khan's always open for the straight right counter as well as the left hook. He's always open for that. And what did Terence Crawford catch him with? A straight right followed by a left hook, okay? And that's what put him down. And most boxers are open for the left hook, all right? Only guys like Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, who was a southpaw, and Mike McCallum, they knew how to guard against such a thing. They didn't lapse in their defense. So they never had holes in their defense like that. So when you're talking about Amir Khan, I knew he was going to get stopped. Now, he didn't get stopped. You know, he found a way out through the low blow situation in which Khan was like, no mas, you know, and his trainer was like, no mas as well. Khan probably wanted to fight on. I'll go with what he said. He probably wanted to fight on, but his trainer was like, you know what, you're going to get comatose, and then that might be it for you. So, because Terence Crawford was going in there to butcher the dude, okay? He was seek and destroy, especially in the 7th round. So, my point being that people are saying that Amir Khan is slowed down, he's not as fast as he used to be, and all these excuses they're making. Even I heard Bernie Mac, which is, of course, Terence Crawford's trainer, saying the same thing. I disagree. I think Amir Khan is just as fast as he was. I just think that Amir Khan has been found out. They have broken the code on Amir Khan. So people know how to counter Amir Khan, how to stop Amir Khan. That's how Chris Algier was able to fight a competitive fight with Amir Khan. I thought he beat Amir Khan, but it is what it is. He thought he beat Amir Khan too. So there are 2 things I wanted to say to you guys concerning that. The first one is that Manny Pacquiao had to make adjustments to his game so that he wouldn't get knocked the fuck out. Manny Pacquiao used to jump in, reach in with his shots, and jump in against his opponents, and he would get knocked the fuck out. He got knocked the fuck out by Juan Manuel Marquez. Pacquiao is much more careful in how he does his footwork. He's not as wild as he used to be. And as a result of that, he's a better boxer now. Amir Khan got knocked the fuck out a couple times. And so Amir Khan made adjustments to his game where now he actually uses a lot more pivot work. He used to run around the ring, dart away from the opponent and dart back in and rush in. In his fight against Canelo Alvarez, Amir Khan was doing the best he could, but actually Canelo worked Khan's body, slowing him down. So it wasn't that Amir Khan was any slower than he used to be, or that he was any less of a fighter than he used to be. Actually, he's a better fighter now than he was back in the day. It's that Amir Khan adopted pivot work a little bit more, and 2, Amir Khan stays in the pocket a little bit more, in that he's safely in the pocket and he's pivoting around you. He's actually a better boxer than he used to be. The problem is that Amir Khan has always never been really tested to the body. People never really put the work in. And Canelo Alvarez is an excellent body puncher. He knows how to get body shots in without you hitting him body shots. So Canelo was able to work Khan's body by timing Khan, because he wasn't as fast as Khan. By timing Khan and working his body, eventually slowing down Khan, and then after that, took him out on top. A lot of guys go head hunting in boxing. That leads me to something else I want to talk about. But a lot of guys go to do a lot of head hunting in boxing, and as a result of them head hunting so much, they neglect the body. Terence Crawford started off shooting jabs. He was first. He set the tone for the fight by asserting his jab. He of course worked on speed and stuff on their own time, so that he would match Khan's speed somewhat. Khan, as you can see, was really fast. He could throw 3-4 punch combination at you, be far away, and come and still hit you with the shots. Terence Crawford still got hit by Amir Khan. But the thing about it is Terence was taking the sting off the punches. If you notice, Terence was using the 2-guard, and he was moving back. If Terence was a little too lazy moving back, Khan would catch him. So it was those kinds of things that you have to deal with. Khan is fast. That's just the one attribute he has. He's not quick. He's fast. There's a difference. And so as a result of that, Amir Khan, it's not that he's that terrifically different from the Amir Khan you know from the earlier days. Is that if the Amir Khan from the earlier days came and fought Terence Crawford, he would have gotten knocked out a lot sooner. But Khan didn't get knocked out in this fight, amazingly. He quit, pretty much. Or his corner quit, whichever one you want to call it. The point is, Amir Khan was going to get knocked out. But Amir Khan has these flaws in his game that everybody knows now. They've solved him. Adrian Broner has flaws in his game. They solved Adrian Broner. So Khan has to try and do like Manny Pacquiao, minimize those flaws that he has. He's going to always make flaws. All boxers make flaws in their game. Minimize those flaws in his game and try to maximize his boxing skill and ability. All right. And again, I don't believe that Amir Khan has ever outboxed anybody that knocked him the fuck out. Outpointed them early? Yes, he's a front runner. He does that. But outbox him? Fuck no. If I'm outboxing an opponent, I'm not going to get knocked out. I'm not going to get knocked out by it. Because nothing in boxing, in my opinion, unless you're really lucky, nothing in boxing is by chance. Marquez didn't have a lucky punch against Pacquiao, in my opinion. Marquez knocked Pacquiao the fuck out because he was practicing to knock Pacquiao the fuck out because he knew what Pacquiao does. Stutter step, come in, launch in. Okay? Pacquiao don't do no stutter step anymore and then launch in. You ever notice that? So there's a lot of things about Amir Khan that you have to make adjustments to that. Pacquiao, they made adjustments. So Pacquiao not going to just get knocked the fuck out by somebody. No, it's not going to happen. Why? Pacquiao has made adjustments to his game, so that will never happen again. Amir Khan has never made those adjustments to his game. And Virgil Hunter could not get Amir Khan to stop making those mistakes, which he repeatedly does. He gets caught with the left hook. Why? He gets caught with the left hook because his fucking guard is never up. Right? That's why he gets caught with the left hook. You're supposed to have your guard here. He drops it. Right? He throws his lead right, or he throws his jab and he doesn't bring his hand back in time. For all the speed this dude has, the fundamentals of boxing he don't have. And a lot of boxers, outboxers, have that flaw. And Danny Garcia was able to capitalize on that with Adrian Granados. Caught him with the left hook and put him down. All right? And Adrian Granados was trying to close the distance. Danny Garcia would keep him at bay, and then he would pick his shots where he wanted to fight on the inside. It was brilliant work by Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a hell of a boxer. A hell of a boxer. And I think he's just underrated. And I will say personally, between the two fights between Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan and Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados, I was impressed with Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados a hell of a lot more. Because Danny Garcia was stronger. He was the better boxer. And he stopped Adrian Granados. Literally, well, the referee came in and stopped the fight. Adrian Granados could have kept on going. But he stopped it. He got the stoppage. You know what I'm saying? And he was dominating. Jackson the Hopeful says, Terence Crawford talks a whole ton of shit on social media, but never signs with Al Heyman when he gets the chance, knowing he'll never get those fights with Errol. It pisses me off. Terence Crawford is trying to build up a fight with Errol Spence. The thing about it is, and this is what these young bucks don't understand, You're trying to build up a fight with Errol Spence, right? And all that trash talk. Okay. What happens if your ass lose a fight? What happens if Errol Spence ass lose a fight? People are assuming that Errol Spence won't lose a fight. He's the best welterweight out there. They're assuming that Terrence Crawford won't lose a fight. He's the best pound for pound fighter out there. They're assuming things. These guys are still learning on the job. So what I would say is, and Bob Arum keeps on throwing shots at Al Heyman, who's not. He's not a fucking promoter. Al Heyman's not a promoter. He's a manager. All right? So stop with the bullshit. I was listening to, what's his name? Boxing Wave. And he was talking about, I don't trust no promoter or manager. Just get the fuck out of here, Boxing Wave. Look, man, if you don't know what it is, it's Bob Arum who's the asshole keeping this thing all back. Bob Arum is the dude. Look at fucking Bob Arum's history. When you look at his fucking history, he always has his fighters face his fighters first. So this motherfucker is a fucking hypocrite to say, oh, the PBC fighters don't want to deal with Terrence Crawford. You know, they just want to fight among themselves. Well, motherfucker, that's what you do with your fighters. You even have your own fucking station, ESPN. You wouldn't work at Al Heyman on PBC. You could have joined PBC. You're a promoter. Al Heyman has all kinds of promoters on PBC. You could have joined DAZN. No, you want to monopolize things. You want to be the boss of things. You want to run things, because that's how it's always been with Bob Arum. That's why I said Bob Arum is a cancer to the sport of boxing. Get that motherfucker out of boxing, and then let Todd DeBoff run things so that we could actually have something better than what has been going on. If it wasn't for Todd DeBoff, all right, who is good friends with Floyd Mayweather, we'd never have had Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That motherfucking Bob Arum would have never made that happen. All right? So let's be real here. If you want to blame somebody, blame motherfucking Bob Arum. Don't tell me about. Look at what Lomachenko's doing. Call out Mikey Garcia. Call out Gervonta Davis. Clout chasing. All right? That motherfucker has no intentions of facing those two guys. Neither does Terrence Crawford. All right? Neither does Terrence Crawford. And how do I know this? Let me tell you why. Bob Arum himself said that Lomachenko is facing this guy that he faced and he knocked out, right? After that, he's supposed to face Richard Comey. That's what he said. Oh, and Richard Comey's next. Then he starts the clout chasing bullshit. Oh, but you know, we were trying to get that fight with Mikey Garcia. Motherfucker, you ain't calling Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia's waiting for a call from you. Then I hear people say, oh, Lomachenko will beat Mikey Garcia. Fuck no. This is 100% guaranteed. Lomachenko gonna get his ass beaten bad by Mikey Garcia. There's a difference. Listen, Mikey Garcia's a cat, and I don't like people talking about Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia and Amir Khan versus Terrence Crawford. It's not the same fucking shit. Amir Khan was getting beat the fuck down. He got dropped. Okay, Mikey Garcia did not get beat the fuck down, and he did not get dropped. All right, he just couldn't mount his offense. Errol Spence was that good. All right. And I listened to Boxing Wave say something that I thought was just pure shit. Terrence Crawford is not stopping Mikey Garcia. That's not happening. What would happen with Terrence Crawford if he faces Mikey Garcia, if he ever gets the balls to face Mikey Garcia, if they ever get that fight happening, is he could win the fight off of points. He's not stopping Mikey Garcia. He couldn't stop Victor Posto. He's going to stop Mikey Garcia, who's bigger than Victor Posto. Get the fuck out of here. All right. He dropped Victor Posto. He's not dropping Mikey Garcia. That shit is not happening. Mikey's a defensive motherfucking fighter. 4 divisional weight champion. Get the fuck out of here. This dude knows how he knows his boxing. If Errol Spence can get Mikey out of there, Terrence Crawford sure as fuck not getting Mikey Garcia out of there. He's not getting him out of there. And that's why you know, it ticks me off when I hear people talk because they don't know shit about boxing. If a man got tight defense, you're not getting him out of there. His defense is too fucking tight. You're not going to hit him. How can you stop something that you can't hit? So stop with the bullshit. Y'all must know but fucking boxing. It's boxing, not fucking strongman contest. Oh, power and all this bullshit. They talk about power, speed. I'm tired of hearing this shit. Most of these motherfuckers don't even know why Terrence Crawford is so good. Oh, he's a switch hitter. That's not why he's so good. There's so much more to his game than that, man. It pisses me off. Anyway, so Terrence Crawford will never stop Mikey Garcia. Never. Never. If they ever face each other, he's not stopping Mikey Garcia. In fact, if Mikey has learned from the Errol Spence fight, Mikey gonna make that fight very competitive. Might even win it. Okay? And he has faced Terrence Crawford in the amateurs, and he's gotten beaten by it. So what I'm saying is, y'all just stop the bullshit, man. People just talk out their ass, man. They have no facts behind it. You know, that's like saying a really stupid thing like Sugar Ray Leonard would beat the brakes off Floyd Mayweather. You know, he faced his father. I'm like, motherfucker, do you understand what Floyd Mayweather is? This is another thing. All of this stuff really bothers me, okay? A lot of times when I talk about defensive fighters, for some motherfucking reason, people think it means hold your guard up and play defense and run around the ring. That's not what a defensive fighter is. It just means their defense is on point so much that they don't get hit as much as they hit their opponent. That's the first motherfucking point. The second point is, if you look at Anthony Corolla versus Lomachenko, Anthony Corolla wasn't throwing any punches, right? He wasn't trying to catch and shoot. He wasn't trying to counter punch. None of that shit. Just because you put your earmuffs on, not the two guard now, your earmuffs on, it's right like this, all right? Don't mean you're protected. There's still gaps in your defense. A lot of people don't even understand what the fuck that is. What's the difference between an earmuffs and a fucking two guard or extended guard and so many other shit to boxing? Okay, there's different kinds of fucking guards. All right? And your defense is not just your guards. It's your feinting. It's your jabs. It's your footwork. It's the way how you position your body in space. It's the way how you do change levels. It's the way in how you conduct your offense. All of that is fucking defense, folks. Not to mention 100 million other things I have not said. Okay? Your sense of timing, your movement. It's just crazy. What? And so when people tell me, hold on 1 second, I'm coming to you, bro. All right, shout out to you. When people tell me shit about Anthony Corolla had a pretty decent defense against Lomachenko, I'm like, motherfucker, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Okay. So there's a lot of people don't understand about boxing, I realize. Okay. And so you have to understand boxing. Footwork, foot placement, foot speed, how you do those things, how you place your feet in that ring, determine if you offset your opponent in terms of the shots they want to land on you, which Anthony Corolla knows nothing about. Okay. To me, he's like Lamont Peterson in that regard. He just walked to you, right? He don't come in, he don't approach off of angles, he don't approach off a jab, none of that shit. All right, Lomachenko was able to do whatever he wanted to fucking do with Anthony Corolla because he got off first, and that was it. He controlled the fight from there on. All right, when I talk about defense, there's a lot to defense. But one of the most critical things in defense is footwork. Footwork, remember that. All right, let's keep it moving. One foe. I didn't see anything new last night. From Terrence Crawford, you're talking about. I agree with you, one foe. Terrence Crawford was terrible. Well, I would say it was new. He did some stuff that it was slightly different because it's a different opponent to what he usually does. But no, he basically did his signature stuff. Yeah, his chopping rights, his hooks, and that kind of shit. Yeah. One foe. Spence is better than Crawford. I would argue to you, one foe, that Danny Garcia is better than Crawford in many respects. I'm not saying all around. I'm just saying in many respects, Danny Garcia does things better than Terrence Crawford. And I thought that Danny Garcia faced a better opponent than Terrence Crawford faced yesterday. Terrence Crawford was facing a guy who was supposed to box him. Danny Garcia was facing a guy that was boxing, brawling, infighting. He was mixing it up. I'm just saying, okay? And the tough guy who'd never been stopped, lost close decision fights. You could argue he won every single fight he faced. And Danny Garcia dispatched that dude and got a stoppage, okay? And dropped him like 4 times or some shit like that. That's impressive. And he looks stronger than he ever has been. Very impressive. He'll be going to 154 soon, I heard. One foe says Spence is better than Crawford. I can argue that point. I can agree with you in terms of resume, in terms of level of opposition faced. I think Spence has faced better opposition. I think that because of that, He's gotten more experience. I think his Mikey Garcia fight was a great experience for him. I think Crawford hasn't faced that level of opposition at all. So I would say that if Spence was to face Crawford, he would be coming into the ring with all that experience and that the fundamentals. And also, one of the things that I believe Spence is better than Crawford in, hands down, and that's a big advantage to Errol Spence, is pivot work. Errol Spence has the fucking pivot work down pat. And changing fucking levels, oh my God. All right, Crawford's got his own really beautiful set of skill sets. But one of the motherfucking things that Errol Spence got that I know Crawford don't have is that fucking pivot work. Pay attention to that. That's not something you can just learn overnight. Okay, Crawford does not use that kind of pivot work. So in that respect, I agree with One Foe. One Foe says Shakur Stevenson. I didn't watch that fight. I'll have to look at it. I'll tell you more about it. One Foe says defense. One Foe says true. I guess that's the statement I was making. Pooh B. Sistrunk says Bob Arum says Mikey Garcia doesn't deserve a 50-50 money split with Loma. What the fuck? So a guy who's been on fucking pay-per-view, a man who's been on fucking pay-per-view, one of a very well. You don't want that fight. He knows Loma will get murdered by that Mikey Garcia. I say it again. I'm not making ifs or buts. You can put me on record for this. I always told y'all Canelo was gonna murk fucking GGG. Y'all didn't understand. In the second fight, he not only murked him, he walked his ass down for the entire fight. Okay, and he didn't get tired. So let's just think about this. I've been right about a number of things, right? Andre Ward beat Sergey Kovalev the first fight and the second fight. Motherfuckers didn't want to give him credit first fight. He stopped him the second fight, right? Okay. Bob Arum now is saying some bullshit again, like he usually does, saying Mikey Garcia doesn't deserve a 50-50 money split with Loma. Why? Because he faced a bigger Errol Spence and lost to him because he didn't mount enough offense, right? His offense was coming up short. Okay. Do understand. Mikey's not going to be facing Errol Spence. He's going to be facing Lomachenko, a smaller guy than him. He's going to have the reach advantage. He's going to have the motherfucking reach advantage. All right? And he's going to have the power advantage. And he's going to have the size advantage. And you're telling me Mikey Garcia, who's an intelligent boxer, is going to lose to Lomachenko? Please, by all means, Bob Arum, make the fight happen. Bob Arum doesn't want that fight to happen. Okay? That's a fight that's never going to happen once Bob Arum is around. If Todd the Buff's around, it might happen. But not motherfucking Bob Arum, who protects his fighters. He said he protected Manny Pacquiao from Terence Crawford. Then obviously he's protecting Lomachenko from Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia will beat the shit out of Lomachenko. I guarantee you that. Lomachenko's going to get beat the fuck up by Mikey Garcia. Right? That's a fight that Bob Arum does not want to make. Because that's a fight where his praised possession, Lomachenko, is going to get stopped. No ifs or buts about that. Okay? No ifs or buts about that. That's not even a scenario we want to entertain. Lomachenko will get murked the fuck up. You saw what Mikey Garcia does to fighters that Linares didn't want to face. Linares didn't want to face a fighter the lightweight champ, WBC lightweight champ. Mikey Garcia knocked him the fuck out, and that was a southpaw. Lomachenko will get destroyed by Mikey Garcia. Do not put Lomachenko in the ring with Mikey Garcia. It will destroy him. All right? That's just what will happen. Okay. So let's just hope Mikey Garcia never goes back down to lightweight. Because if he does, he'll dominate everybody. One fool says Spence pressure and boxing would consume Crawford. Nah, Spence wouldn't just off the bat pressure Crawford. That's too good a fighter for Spence to go just pressuring him. No, he'll box him. He'll box Crawford for a bit. Yeah. One fool. I can't wait for Bob to retire or go away. No pun intended. Oh yeah. I got you. No, seriously. You know his name is Robert. So I can call him Rob Arum because he robbed people of money and all that shit. You know what I mean? I'm tired of hearing from Bob Arum, and they make him look like he's some angel or something. Get the fuck out of here, Bob Arum. One folks says no pun intended. I know that my boy, what's his name? Leonard Ellaby, he says, you have to be respectful to the older people and stuff. But I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna be straight up jacking Barbarian. That motherfucker need to get out of boxing. I don't care what nobody says. Let him get his old ass out of boxing. All right. And you can say I'm disrespectful to my elders or what. Well, guess what? Nobody was saying that it was disrespectful to motherfucking Floyd Mayweather Sr. or Roger Mayweather when people were saying shit about them. Okay. Wait. What's his fucking name? Nobody checked. He is the trainer of Manny Pacquiao. When he was saying shit about Floyd Mayweather Sr., nobody was saying anything about him. Call him a monkey and shit. So get the fuck out of here. Bahram disrespects people. Bahram likes to cut down fighters, to raise up his fighters. And Leonard LB does not do that, obviously. You don't see Mayweather's enterprise really doing that, except for with Canelo. Floyd said some shit, which I thought was just low. But at the end of the day, you know, I think that by and large, Mayweather Promotions is respectful to all fighters in all different promotional companies and are fans of different fighters in different promotional companies. And I just don't see why Bob Arum needs to be in that mix. Eddie Hearn has been kind of derogatory about certain things that's happening in the industry. I suggest that Eddie Hearn stays positive. Don't be saying negative things. You don't see Lou DiBella doing that. You don't see a number of other promoters doing that. Then don't do that. Eddie Hearn, just chill the fuck down. And why don't you just try to do what you're doing with your fighters, and don't try to like put down the PBC or put down Javante Davis and his promotional company Mayweather Promotion. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. Bob Arum is an ass, okay? And the other guy that people put down a lot is King. You know, the dude Don King. They put down Don King so much and they praise Bob Arum. Get the fuck out of here, Bob Arum. People should be berating you too. You're just a slimy piece of shit, just like Don King. So let's not try and praise Bob Arum. Fuck out of here, Bob Arum. That's what I think. And Leonard Ellerby can't say it, but I would say it. One Fo says facts. One Fo says, who's the top heavyweight? Well, we're looking at three of the major heavyweights in the world right now. Tyson Fury, who sniffed cocaine. Anthony Joshua. And Deontay Wilder. Okay? So those are the three top heavyweights in the world. Each one of them has been world champion, and each one of them, in a way, technically, Tyson Fury is still world champion, and Anthony Joshua has his belts. Right? So that's basically it. But yeah, so basically, you know, those are the top heavyweights in the world, one Fo. So I'm continuing on. So yeah, Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. The reason Mikey Garcia didn't get knocked out is because he had good defense. Not only good defense, but he was also counter punching. He had good offense off of his defense, and he was dangerous throughout the fight. He was trying to stop Errol Spence throughout the fight. He was trying to land his power shots, trying to land his shots on Errol Spence. But Errol Spence was just a better boxer. With Amir Khan versus Crawford, Khan's coming off of a knockout loss 2 fights before, had questionable fights before that, been stopped multiple times. We see the formula to stop him. So it wasn't like Amir Khan was this guy like Mikey Garcia with great defense. And so Khan got hit a hell of a lot more in 7 rounds than Mikey Garcia did. Khan didn't get knocked the fuck out, which like we predicted, but he's definitely a substandard boxer compared to Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a much better boxer than Amir Khan. And as I said before, Danny Garcia's opponent, one Fo says Khan is a shut fighter. No, he's not shut. He's an exposed fighter. Let's put it that way. He's found out. He's exposed. Amir Khan is exposed. We know what to do to beat Amir Khan. We saw Chris Algieri. We got no punching power, whatever. No fucking punching power. Was beating the shit out of Amir Khan. Okay? Amir Khan got some of the middle rounds, and then what's his name? Chris Algieri finished strong. Okay? And that's a guy that Errol Spence, Chris Algieri is a guy that Errol Spence knocked the fuck out. Just imagine Amir Khan going to face Errol Spence or Sean Porter or Danny Garcia again or Keith Thurman. They kept him away from those guys. Why? If he faced them, he would get knocked the fuck out. You know, Paulie Malignaggi was a guy made me laugh because he was saying that Khan was going to give Mayweather the most amount of problems. No, he wasn't going to give Mayweather the most amount of problems. He had been knocked out 2 times before he faced. It was possible for him to face Mayweather at the time when Maidana faced him instead. Mayweather would have knocked out Amir Khan, and then everybody would have said, "Oh, that was not a good fight. He should have faced Marcos Maidana. Came hot off of Adrian Broner." Floyd made the right decision to face Marcos Maidana than Queen Khan, who wanted a paycheck. Khan goes into the fights now to cash out, baby, because he's been exposed. He's not shot. He's not a shot fighter at all. He's just fucking exposed. Okay? And once you tap that chin, he's going down. Just like with Roy Jones Jr., and nobody knew he was chinny. Nobody studied that because he was just so well conditioned and so fast. When you touch that chin, and Roy Jones Jr. is going to sleep, got it? Chinny. So it is what it is. So yeah, I was saying that Danny Garcia had a better opponent than Terence Crawford had. Okay, let's just be real. More skilled opponent Danny Garcia had then let me put it this way. Amir Khan has speed, but other than his speed and his general basic boxing skill, he ain't got nothing else. Right? He's a one-trick pony. Okay. Multi-dimensional fighter like Adrian Granados, we never expected the fight to be stopped or dropped multiple times. Danny Garcia had the formula for him, and I saw it. I was like impressed. All right, and Adrian Granados is a tough guy, by the way. Tough guy. He can get knocked down and still come back. I remember when he did that with Amir Mansour. He got knocked down. It looked like he was going to get stopped, and he turned the fight around, and he beat up Amir Mansour. Still, the fight had to be stopped. All right, so Granados was a live dog in there, even though Danny Garcia was, beating him. But that's why I said I wish the ref had let the fight go on, even though Granados was taking all that punishment. I wanted to see how that Chicago fighter would come back from that. But it's all good. So hold on 1 second. So people have been saying a lot of things which are misinformation, in my opinion. There's a lot of things that they're misinformed about, and people always go back to the same bullshit: power, speed, that kind of bullshit. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Power and speed don't mean shit. It's how you use angles and footwork and your defense and your offense. That's what makes boxing interesting. So that's why I said people don't know shit about boxing, man. Anyway, shout out to Roger Mayweather. I hope he's doing better. Hope he recovers. Talking a little bit more about boxing. So I have not been able to watch the other fights. I've only watched the 2 major fights so far. I wanted to say one more thing. Concerning the sport of boxing. And I'm going to do more videos on this. So don't worry. By the way, you guys can always not only subscribe to the channel, but you can also donate to this channel. But you're going to have to do it via Western Union MoneyGram because I don't have any online means of so far of putting money onto here. But as soon as I get a debit card, I think I may be able to do so, and you can just donate directly right here on YouTube. I think there's a money sign somewhere around here. I don't know where it is. I'm not seeing it right now. Where you can actually donate money to here. I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, but the one more thing I want to say is I'm making a couple of videos. I'll be making a couple of videos on the 2 fights, the Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados, where Danny Garcia was first, and so was Terence Crawford to Amir Khan was first. They tried to establish their jab early. And we'll also look at some other aspects and dimensions of boxing that a lot of people do not pay attention to. So don't worry. This channel will keep on churning it out, as well as boxing's not talked about much. I got some more Floyd TVE stuff for you guys to see because the guy is that good. And I also have a couple other things because there's some other upcoming fights that will be coming. Mega fight of Canelo versus Jacobs. That's going to be a good fight. I got Canelo all day, every day of the week. Canelo's going to win that fight, right? Those people who say it's a 50-50 fight, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from, but I think Canelo's going to win the fight anyway. And not because of the judges again. I'm going to tell you guys again and again, the guy is better than you're rating him. All right. Anywho, if you guys have any questions, just leave it in the comment section. Or in the chat right now. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to say what you got to say. Let's keep the conversation going. One foe, Pooh Beast is drunk. Daniel the Hope, Jackson the Hopeful. I just want to give you guys a shout out before I speed out of here. Anybody got any questions? I'm watching you guys for questions. I'll give you guys 30 seconds to say something. If not, I'm Bush, man. I'm getting out of here, and I'm gonna make a turn, try and do a couple things. I just finished exercising, so that's why I'm still chilling my exercise gear. All right, so 30 seconds is up. I'm out of here. Peace to you guys. It was good talking to you guys over the weekend. We had different things to said. I think Danny Garcia said he wants to fight with any one of the major fighters in the division. I think he should get the 2 fighters left, Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. Somebody asked him if he would like to have a fight with Terrence Crawford. And I think Danny Garcia was saying if it's possible, yeah. Not, no. That'd be an interesting fight. I would like to see Danny Garcia versus Terrence Crawford. That would be a good ass fight. That's one you would want to see. Mikey Garcia versus Terrence Crawford is also a good fight, I think. Terrence wants to go up and try and face Errol Spence immediately. That's up to him, But I'm just telling you, Errol's not a joke. Okay. So I wish Terrence Crawford the best. He goes up and faces Errol. I don't expect him to get knocked out by Errol, but I do expect Errol to beat him at this point in time. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good one. This is me, What You Need, also known as Answer Philip. Peace to you guys. Have a great evening.